Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. It's Crypto Lamb here. How are you doing? If you missed out on the Mars Colony NFT sale, then you're not alone. A lot of people missed out on it too. 21,000 NFTs were sold out very, very rapidly. I've got my 2 plots of land here. I did have 3, but I've sold one of them. The floor price on NFT Key right now is 2,201 tokens for a plot of land, whereas originally it was only 251 per plot of land. So now I am currently gaining 2 CLNY colony tokens per day, as both of my lands are yielding 1 per day currently because there's no upgrades. Just to explain that, I currently have 11.5 CLNY. The price of it currently is $20 per token. So essentially, when I get 30 CLNY here, I can upgrade my base station on one of the lands and another one here, and then I can upgrade the following as well, and each one will give me +1 or +2 extra CLNY per day. So absolutely huge stuff. So some people have been buying in to CLNY very rapidly. You can see some huge buy orders here for CLNY because people are desperate to very quickly upgrade their NFTs so that they can sell them for a much bigger price, or potentially because they want to yield more CLNY. So whatever the reason people are buying more CLNY, it is all because they want to make more money, and it is working an absolute treat. So Father at the Mars Colony team, you've done a fantastic job. Well done. It's probably one of the most successful NFT game launches that I've witnessed this year. It's if not ever, it's probably one of the best. It was an absolute diamond of a find, and I'm very happy to be a part of it. And I've got my 2 plots of land there on Mars that I'm very happy with, that are now giving me free money, which is not a bad thing. It's all good. It's all good. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the network in which Mars Colony is built on, which is the Harmony Network. Now, what's interesting about the Harmony Network, and why should you give a crap? Well, everybody keeps hearing the term Web3 being thrown around at the moment. What is Web3? Web3 is going to be the next iteration of the internet. So currently everybody is familiar with Web2. That is the internet that we use every single day. It's what you use Facebook on. It's what you use Twitter on. And all of your other social media platforms, all of that is built on Web2. And for the most part, Web 2 is essentially owned by massive corporations who are essentially farming your information for monetary gain. That's what they do. YouTube is one of them. Facebook is another, or rather Meta, as they're called now, because they're starting to move with the times. In order to survive, they are switching over to the metaverse, and that's where the future is. And that's ultimately why I'm doing the videos that I'm doing now, because everything is going into the metaverse and NFTs, and that's where the future will be. So what's the difference between Web 2 and Web 3? Well, allow me to use a couple of analogies. When you take a look at when the internet was created in the first place by Tim Berners-Lee when he was working at CERN, the whole idea was so that scientists could transfer data and information with universities and things like that, so they could further their research and increase the speed of their research as well. So when he created that, that was the initial reasoning and concept for the internet at the time, and that was essentially what led to Web version 1. So fast forward to now, we're in Web version 2, and I think it's pretty much gone as far as it can go. Everybody is satisfied with their social media. Everybody gets the information they want at a relatively decent speed, and people can share silly memes and cat videos and things like that. But ultimately, generation is moving on, and now we're seeing the rise of blockchain, the rise of crypto, NFTs, and the ability to be able to earn virtual assets on the blockchain for everybody. So there's just so many aspects that are now starting to move into the future, and Web3 is absolutely imperative to further that agenda. So the idea of DAOs on the Web3 network, and a DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization, is to essentially remove the conglomerates from power over the internet, where essentially you will be able to connect to the internet and not necessarily have logins for different social media platforms, whereas your logins, would essentially just be one thing for everything. And AI on the blockchain and various other things like that will essentially tailor the internet and your browsing experience to your needs, and it will become so intelligent that you won't even need to search very far for the things that you want to see, because it will essentially be designed for you as you browse. So it will become a very intelligent, decentralized system where the information that you want is presented to you fairly rapidly. So why am I telling you about this? I'm telling you about this because Web3 is going to be a massive, global, radical, social economic change that I don't think a lot of people are expecting to see just yet. And it's going to take the world by storm, and it's already starting to happen. For example, when you take into consideration some of the greatest hacks of all time that have happened, for instance, by a guy called Ian Murphy. In 1981, he attacked AT&T, American Telecom's networks, and he changed the clocks on their network so that people calling during the day would receive the nighttime discount during the day. So those who ended up waiting to get cheaper calls at midnight ended up getting larger bills, whereas the people who were calling during the day got cheaper calls. Why did Ian Murphy, aka Captain Zap, do that? Well, essentially, he realized that this network where people were trying to be put together, where people could communicate with family and friends and all that kind of stuff, were being charged ridiculous amounts of money for something that should not have been so expensive. So he took it upon himself to try and make a radical change. The sentence that he received was essentially 2 years probation and community service, whereas if somebody had done that today, they probably would have received far, far heftier jail terms and sentences and things like that for what they did. Now, fast forward to 2018, and a 21-year-old ended up attacking big bosses in Silicon Valley and ended up stealing millions of dollars worth of crypto. Because a lot of people want that change. They don't want these huge conglomerates controlling our networks that allow us to talk to our friends and family from across the world, and to allow us to express ourselves and our freedoms through NFTs and various other things. So for a very long time, since the creation of the internet, since the internet started becoming more accessible to people and telecommunications were more accessible to everyday users, people have wanted to have control over what they see, the pricing as well. I mean, why should people be charged ridiculous amounts of money to be able to communicate and express themselves on a network that should be owned by the people? And that is the point of Web3, taking it away from the hands of the people that essentially control Web2 and giving it to you, the people, where you can end up owning pieces of the things that you use. For example, a lot of the games that are based on Web2 right now, when you play them on your phone, for example, in order to win a lot of these games or progress in these games, you have to pay. You have to pay for their tokens, which you cannot then withdraw and put back into real cash. You lose that money and they gain 100% of it for your enjoyment. So imagine now, fast forwarding, a lot of the games that are now being built on the blockchain, especially ones that are tied to NFTs. Imagine for a second you get to play a game where the company behind the game earn the money too, but you also get paid for playing it, where the value of the items that you play with in the game also increase as you level them up. Once that starts to happen, people then realize the value in that. The companies start to grow bigger, especially the smaller indie companies, and at the same time, you get to line your pockets doing the things that you love to do. It also means that if you were to design a picture yourself, you could turn that into an NFT and you would essentially receive the money for your work by placing that on Web3 NFT websites and so on and so forth. And that's why I've dedicated my time on this YouTube channel to be looking at these play to earn games. And that's why I'm dedicating my time on my YouTube channel to take a look at these decentralized games where you can earn money through playing them, through earning these NFTs. Because I believe that they are the next greatest step in entertainment and social interaction on the internet. Unfortunately, with a lot of these new technologies that are coming up, that also means that you are vulnerable to a lot of other scams that pop up there. And I'll be taking a look at a couple of those as we go to try and warn people against using some of those terrible platforms. But for now, I want to talk about Harmony. Harmony is a new blockchain, essentially, and it creates a bridge to different chains across the networks. And I must say, when I had to sign up for Mars Colony to buy my One tokens, I had to use the Harmony network. And I seen something very impressive when I was using it, whether it was their application or the bridge that I had to use to transfer my tokens. It was extraordinarily fast. The gas fees were extraordinarily low. And all I can see in comparison to other networks is the tokens, the DAOs, and everything else being built on the Harmony One network are far, far more superior than they are on other networks. Please go over to Harmony.one and check out their website, their ecosystem, the videos, the resources, everything, the developers behind it, absolutely everything. I cannot recommend the Harmony One network enough. It is just a fantastic, fantastic network. And I do believe it's going to grow massively. So if you don't hold One token and you don't hold CLNY right now, Colony token, then it might be a good idea to maybe fill your bags with some of it, because in my opinion, it is quite possibly going to be one of the biggest networks around, especially when Web3 starts to gain a lot more traction. Harmony will be at the forefront of that, I believe. Later today, I'm going to be taking a look at other platforms and other games on the blockchain for NFT gaming, for various things like that. So stay tuned for that. I've already been given quite a few of them by my Telegram community to take a look at, and I will be covering those and giving you my honest opinion on them and what you can expect with those in the coming days, months, weeks, years, and things like that. So Mars Colony was a very successful one. My followers were very grateful to get in on it, and it is pumped absolutely hard. It has been a monster project, and I've spoken with the head developer or the owner of the game, and he's already said that there's a lot of very exciting things coming out. I don't want to reveal too much on this video right now, but we will be taking a look at some of the updates coming in the future. So once again, well done for the Mars Colony team for selling out so rapidly and pumping CLNY to the ceiling, and I still think that's got a lot further to go as well. And Harmony One as well for releasing an absolutely brilliant chain, and One token is going to be huge. You can just see it is. So go and take a look at that. All the links for everything that I've discussed are in the description below. Please subscribe, like, and share as well. It will really, really help me, and don't forget to leave a comment. I will be back later on to discuss a new upcoming NFT game that you can all take part in. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.